Hurry up, Banjo. Hurry.
I'm coming! Huh. Hello and welcome to Good Games Spawn Point, the show for younger gamers by gamers. I'm Bajo.
And I'm Hex.
And I am D.A.R.R.E.N. All right, Banjo, there'd better be 64. I will be counting.
Darren, what are all these for?
Banjo owes me a cheese sandwich for every lap I beat him in Grid 2 this week.
Good, you're in third.
Oh, well, they look and smell terrible.
They are terrible.
What's this?
Oh, that's garnish. And also we're reviewing a Mario game later in the episode. Right, well, I better go read the news. Can you please take these, Hex? I'll take this one with me.
Darren, do you think you could fix these up a little bit?
Affirmative, Hex. Pop them in my toasty maker.
Gross.
Yep, right back there.
Smelly cheese.
Slide them in.
Oh, there's more.
Save you for later. Bajo here at the Spawn Point News Desk. Microsoft has officially unveiled their new next-gen console, the Xbox One. It's pitched as an all-in-one entertainment device with an emphasis on multitasking games and entertainment. Rumours of always online requirements and anti-used games systems weren't directly addressed in the presentation, and mixed reports have since emerged. Games will be playable offline, however the console will apparently require an internet connection at least once every 24 hours. It will release later this year in all major markets. Soon. Electronic Arts has announced that they are not currently developing any games for the Wii U. This even includes typically multi-platform EA sports games such as FIFA and Madden. EA previously claimed that wide support for the console at the Wii U announcement, however, that support now seems to have stopped. And that's the news for this week.
Yum! These are heaps better. Thank you, Darren.
You're welcome.
What is that?
Darren enhanced your sandwiches. They're much better now. The Mario mini-series is in its 5th installment now with this downloadable title, Mario and Donkey Kong Minis on the Move.
Here we are, Mario.
Oh, I'm sorry, this one's just for me.
There for Hex.
No, you can have a little bit. No.
Negative.
Oh, you broke. In the past, Mario and Donkey Kong have gone head-to-head over these adorable miniatures, but now they've teamed up to solve puzzles and collect shiny stars.
Your mission is to create paths to guide miniature robots across a grid full of dangers. Robot characters.
In all 4 play modes, the touchscreen is where you'll be staring 95% of the time. The screen is set up with the grid on the left and the play tiles on the right. Mario's main event is, well, the main event, and it has a nice Tetris twist. Random tiles drop into play, and you drag and drop these pieces onto the play grid. Collecting 3 M coins on the map will score you a perfect round.
Grabbing those coins on the way to the finish line involves quite a bit of strategy. It's pretty easy to run yourself into a corner with a couple of poorly placed tiles, and if you run out of time or your standby tiles overflow or you fail to create a safe path, it's game over.
In most levels, your main concern is time, but you can speed your mini along with a little nudge. And touching the next tile in the queue will make it become playable quicker. Creating circles or figure eights will trigger a mini-game where the path rises and spawns collectible time bonuses. Then it's a tap-a-thon to snap them all up before the mini-game ends.
A common complaint about the earlier games is that they were a bit too simple, but that's not the case here. Even with my computational power, it took me almost 2 whole seconds to solve the harder levels. That's about 6 years of processing for a human brain.
Yeah, they can get pretty tricky, but it's not in a frustrating way. New items and obstacles are introduced one at a time so you get a clear understanding of how they work. Rotating tiles, spring pads, dead ends, and bashable enemies change the way you approach a level.
There are 3 other modes which are slight variations on the main event. My favourite is Puzzle Palace, which abandons randomly spawning tiles and instead gives you the exact pieces you need to perfect a level. While that does sound a bit easier, it in fact offers a new challenge because it limits the variety of tiles that the player can access.
In Mini Mayhem, you need to wrangle multiple minis to ensure that they all arrive at the endpoint safely. All of the tiles you need are already in the play space, but you need to shift them around to catch your minis as they go.
And finally, there are 3 Jungle Giant maps, which incorporate everything you've learned on a much, much larger play space. I thought these were a bit too tough. I preferred the relaxed challenge of the mini-games.
Yes, there are 4 mini-games, which are slingshotting, crank-turning, score chasers. These are a really nice change of pace, I thought, and a pretty generous addition on top of the 180 main levels. I mean, there's certainly no shortage of game here.
Well, actually, Hex, there's effectively infinite content thanks to the game's level creator. Players can use the simple creation tool to generate new levels and share them online, where other players can download them and rate them.
For an inexpensive downloadable title, I think you get quite a lot for this game, so I'm giving it 7.5 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Yeah, I loved it too, and it's great to hear that familiar "let's go" once again, so I'm giving it 8.
Charles Martinet.
Ah, yes, the voice of Mario.
I've interviewed him.
What? When?
Kerry, roll the tape. Hello, and welcome to my show, Darren Does Devs. I have with me today a very, very special guest. Charles Martinet, the voice of Mario. Woohoo! Now, before we begin, it's a mere formality. I must scan you for noobishness.
Of course.
Scanning. Scanning. Scan complete. You're completely noobite free, but we knew that. Now, firstly, we'd love to know what's it like to voice an iconic character like Mario.
Well, first of all, let me say, hello to all my friends, the Spawnlings. It's me, Mario. Woohoo! And Wario, have a rotten day. And Luigi too. Hello. And Luigi. Everybody check with me. And baby Luigi. And baby Mario. Let's go. Yahoo!
So many characters. How do you decide what kind of a voice you give a character? For instance, why did you go with a more high-pitched voice for Mario as opposed to a gruff Brooklyn plumber?
Well, you know, I'm glad you asked me that because I crashed an audition 22 years ago. I walked in the door, the camera was walking out the door with the producer, and I said, "Can I read for this?" And he said, "All right, come on in. You're an Italian plumber from Brooklyn. So make up a voice, make up a video game, start talking, and whenever you stop talking, that's your audition." And that's exactly what I thought, Darren, was a voice from Brooklyn. Hey, how you doing? I'm under your sink. Don't bother me here, you know. Or, hey, I'm working here. Don't bother me. And I thought, well, you know, if I'm going to be talking to children and people of all ages, which I didn't know who I would be talking to, I wanted to make sure it'd be somebody who's friendly and nice. And I'm sitting there thinking, but I don't know anything about video games. What am I going to talk about? I heard action. I said, hello, I'm a Mario. Okie dokie, let's make a pizza pie together. You go get some sausage. I'm going to get some spaghetti. We're going to put the spaghetti in this pizza and the pizza and the spaghetti and the sauce. Then I'm going to chase with the pizza. And I don't know where I went with it, but I kept talking about chasing each other with lasagna and pizza. And just I kept talking until the tape ran out.
Oh, I can relate. Now, what video games did you play when you were younger, when you were growing up?
Well, you know, I didn't have many video games except for the Pong. You know, do you remember Pong, Pong, beep, and Waka 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 Waka, Space Invaders, and the little
Which video game character would you say is your personal hero?
Well, you know, I love them all, but every time I do Mario, I have a certain level of joy and happiness that fills me. When I wake up in the morning and I'm in a good mood, I go, wahoo, let's go. So, you know, it's a part of my everyday life, and of course the music of Mr. Koji Kondo, the da-da-da-da-da-da. When I'm happy, I wake up in the morning and let's go. Doot, 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 doot.
It's like the soundtrack to your life.
Yes, it is.
Now, with the voices being such an integral part of today's video games, many young people these days aspire to become voice actors themselves. What advice would you give to any of the Spawnlings who might seek careers in voice acting?
Learning how to be a voiceover actor is study just like anything else in life. You study and you work hard. There's a certain amount of talent, but the talent takes you this far, and hard work and perseverance takes you all the way to do what you love to do. If you're doing what you love in life, you'll always be a success in many, 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 many ways.
I agree. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Darren. And thanks to all of my Spawning friends. Mamma mia, you guys, you're number one. Hee-hee!
I think Charles is right. The Spawnlings are number one.
Yes, they certainly are, but we should get to some questions. How about we start with this one from Chris, who is in New French Perth. Can you play one copy of SimCity on more than one computer? Love your show. Wait, so there's a new French Perth now?
Yeah.
And it's in New South Wales?
Yeah, in fact, French Perths are popping up all over the place, Hex. In fact, they're popping up so much that they're in danger of being uncool.
Well, so how many are there?
Thousands. One just popped up out the back of my house. Yeah, I get baguettes every morning. But yes, Chris, you can definitely put one copy onto more than one computer. Once you've bought and activated SimCity, then all you have to do is log into Origin on whatever computer you'd like to install it to, and then you'll see it available in your games library to download.
Well, that was short and sweet. So moving on to this one now from Robert, who is in Bunyip in Western Australia.
Bunyips? Where? Where's the bunyips? On what and how can I get the Kerbal Space Program? Thanks. Actually, Hex, I've just looked it up and it's pronounced Boynup.
That's what I said, Bunyip.
Boynup.
Bunyip.
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 Bunyip. Boynup.
Well, Robert, at the moment, Kerbal Space Program is available on both Mac, Windows, and even the oft-forgotten Linux PCs.
Linux PCs.
Yes.
I put Linux on my PC once, Hex, and it destroyed my hard drive.
Oh, no.
It was back in the 90s. I've got many stories like that, but let's move on. Also, it's available as a download either from the game's official homepage, but you can also find it on Steam. And it's worth noting that it is actually still in development, so while there's plenty to do in the game, it isn't all there yet.
Next up, we've got this one from Batman's Pet Potato, who is in French Gotham City, which is in Victoria.
Bat-tato.
Yeah, a bat potato. Good weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, effective.
Yeah.
Do you guys know any games for PC that are based or about crashing? Cheers! P.S. Hex is epic, Bajo is epic, and D.A.R.R.E.N, well, hi, thanks Batman's Pet Potato, ouch!
You know, Hex, in French Gotham, French Batman goes up to villains and he goes, Adieu, je suis Batman. And then he bops the villains on the head and like the Joker, when you bop Joker on the head, he goes, ho, ho, ho.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Bat Potato, there are a few I can think of, but some of the best ones are actually rated for older gamers, so we can't really talk about those. But fear not, we have a few suggestions that you might enjoy. Firstly, I'd say Dirt Showdown is worth checking out. It's a pretty over-the-top racer with a lot of crazy destructive modes.
Oh, je t'aime. And of course, there's both Need for Speed Most Wanted and Hot Pursuit, and they've got great crashes. The focus is mostly on racing in both of them though, but in Hot Pursuit, you often need to make other cars crash to get through the race. So we'd say, go for that if you're after more crashes.
Other than that, you might like Demolition Inc. It's a little puzzle game about crashing cars and trucks and causing as much destruction as possible. That should give you a few choices. Now, let's move on to this one from Connor in Pokeland, Victoria.
Next, I've got some more French facts for you.
Okay.
Are you ready? In the new Pokemon X and Y, it's actually set in a Pokemon version of France.
Wait, is that true, or is
Yeah.
that just one of your, facts
No.
that you make up?
That is true.
Really?
And they call it the Kalos region, but it's really just French Pokeland facts. Hi, good game. I recently bought a Nintendo 3DS and I want 3 games for it, but I'm only allowed to get 1. So I was wondering if you could help me decide. Here are the games. 1. Super Mario 3D Land. 2. New Super Mario Bros. 2. 3. Mario Kart 7. Thanks. That's a tough choice you've got there, Connor. They're all great games.
Yes, but if I was in your position, I'd probably go with option number 1, Super Mario 3D Land. In my opinion, it's easily one of the best games on the 3DS and one of the best Mario games ever, really, so I'm sure you'll be very happy with it for a long time.
Yes, I would go with 3D Land as well, although if you'd like to play games online or with friends, then it's worth considering Mario Kart 7, since that'll keep you busy, endlessly busy, with its multiplayer. But if you'd rather just play games solo, then yeah, go with 3D Land.
Well, let's move on to this one now from Sonic the Hedgehog, who is in the Green Hill Zone, yeah, tough area, in New South Wales.
Oh.
Hey GGSP, I was wondering what the next box title, Xbox 360, PS3, or even the next-gen consoles, PS4, etc., Sonic game is. When is it coming out? Thanks. Sonic out. P.S. Here are some faces, Bajo.
I must hail Sonic. Coding error. 478 $2 lol. Just kidding.
PPS. Make D.A.R.R.E.N answer.
Hey Hex, you You know what, Hex? Why don't we let Darren answer this question? Why don't we
Really?
give him permission
Whoa.
to answer a question on Ask Good Game? It's an unprecedented thing.
I have to say, that's really big of you, Bajo.
It's big of both of us. And also, he may give us some toasted cheese sandwiches later because the ones I made me feel a little ill.
Ugh, anything's gonna be better than the ones you made.
Yeah.
Darren speaking.
Oh, hey, Darren, it's Bajo here from the Good Game Desk. Now, Darren, this is very exciting, but I've got a question here from a Spawnling, and we would like you to answer it for us, please. Pontificate.
I'm sorry, Bajo, but I'm actually very busy right now.
What? Darren, this is the one time we're actually asking you to answer a question and you're apparently busy. What could possibly be more important than helping a Spawnling out?
Yeah.
I'm actually just in the middle of an important meeting with Kerry. We've been throwing around some ideas I've had for a nightly variety show live to air across all networks, which would mostly be me singing. He seems quite interested.
Oh, Darren, that's the worst idea I've ever heard. It makes me feel a little bit ill. Don't do it, Kerry!
No,
Kerry, don't do it!
Kerry. Kerry,
Sorry,
say
Bajo,
no.
I've
Kerry,
got to
no!
go. Bye.
Abort!
Oh, if that goes ahead, Hex, it's going to be a sad day for television.
We have got to find a way to stop that.
Yes.
Anyway, Sonic, we do have a little bit of information about the new Sonic games. The first one will be Mario and Sonic at the Sochi Olympic Winter Games. They don't give an exact release date, but we'd guess it'd be coming out at the end of this year. And so far, they've only confirmed that it's going to be on the Wii U.
Other than that, Nintendo actually announced that they've secured an exclusive deal with Sega to publish the next true Sonic game, which will be called Sonic Lost World. They didn't really show anything about it other than this map, and there's no release date either, but it will be coming out on the Wii U and the 3DS.
Okay, well, let's move into this one from Armand, who is in Bajo, which is in New South Wales.
Hi GGSP, how do you make a water slide in Minecraft? Sincerely, Armand.
Well,
Make way, coming through.
No! Darren! Darren! Oh, seriously, Darren, you barge in here when you feel like it, but you won't help when the Spawnlings actually need your help and we let you and we ask you to help.
Well, I was busy before, but now I'm not. So here I am. Now, Armand, building a water slide in Minecraft is relatively easy, if a little time-consuming. All you'll need is a bucket, some water, a boat, and a lot of blocks. They can be any type of block too, except of course for sand or gravel because they don't float. Now, find a spot you'd like to start your water slide from and start building it however you'd like. We suggest building it at least 3 blocks wide and giving it walls 2 blocks high on each side. You'll want it 3 blocks wide so that your boat won't hit the edges. Boats are extremely fragile and will break as soon as they touch something, so it's wise not to make it twist and turn too much. Oh, and of course, make sure it continually heads downhill. Water slides won't work very well if you try and go uphill. Feel free to spice it up with a few scary drops too. Once the structure of your slide is constructed, fill up your bucket with some water, go to the top of the slide and place the water. Now watch as it flows down your glorious water slide. Look at it go. Now just make sure the water flows all the way down the slide and add more water anywhere it may be needed. All that's left now is to build a boat like so. Then place it at the top, jump in, and enjoy the ride.
Well, of course, we're out of time now, so I guess we should get back to the studio because we haven't time left because someone came in and talked for ages.
Yeah, of course. And if you'd like to send us questions, then you can do that here. Hey, Darren, did Kerry end up saying yes to that show idea you had?
Oh, he said he'd have to get back to me about it.
Oh.
He's very busy.
All right.
Because that means no.
Negative. He
In
said it
television,
had
that pretty much
potential.
always means no.
He said it was very promising.
I think we're going to be okay.
But he said he'd definitely look at it in sometime in the next 200 to 300 years.
You know, maybe we should go to Kerry O'Brien. I've got a few ideas for a new show. One of them would be Kitty Cats with Hex.
Hey, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hey, did you know Goose has a little baby kitten?
Yeah, it's called Lando. It's so cute.
Aw, of course now Goose has fleas, but anyway, few racing games manage to hit the sweet spot between arcade and simulation. Grid 2 does it perfectly.
The first Grid game came out in 2009 and is considered by many to be one of the greatest racing games of the decade. Grid pioneered a rewind feature to save you from wrong turns or crashing, which is now very common in racing games.
The single-player campaign is set around a New World racing series which merges different styles of racing together in one big event. The aim is to find a superstar racer, which is you. As you progress through the game, you'll go around the world gathering fans and picking up sponsors and other interested racing championships. The events are tied together nicely with this idea, I thought, Bajo, and I have to say, with a lot less cheese than I was expecting.
It's such a good-looking game, isn't it, guys? On console and especially on PC. Oh, there's no frame rate issues, the smoke is beautiful, the reflections in the bonnets on the car. It's good. It's a good-looking game.
Part of the reason the developers have been able to make this game look much better than the last one is the removal of cockpit view. They were able to track what is known as telemetry data. This just means that they know what kind of views the gamers are using, and only 5% of them used cockpit view on the first game. By my calculations, the game is better for this removal.
As you progress through the campaign, you'll take part in standard races, point-to-point races, and also drift events. Although I did find those overtake events to be pretty tough. I think the AI was cheating.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't an essential part of the game to progress, but they were a bit too tough, I thought. It almost felt broken.
Yeah.
Were you both avoiding hitting all the walls?
Yeah.
And were you overtaking cars fast enough to chain the multiplier?
Yeah, I was, yeah.
Were you both just a little rubbish at it?
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I thought as much. Well, I would like to point out to the Spawnlings that this is a very difficult game, even on medium. And if you're struggling, there are a few ways you can help get through. Firstly, you can drop the difficulty down, of course, but you can also turn off car damage. If your car gets hit too hard, say on your left front side, you can damage your wheel and the car will pull slightly to the left. My best advice is to use your rewinds sparingly, only if you spin out or have a fatal crash. Then you can save one or two of them for when you want to take a risk and try for a sneaky overtake.
Yeah, this is what I love about this game. I mean, it makes you take more risks because you have the safety net of that rewind feature and you really test your skills.
Yeah, and that's the core of this game, really, isn't it? It makes you want to be a better driver and gives you the opportunity to do so. I just love the drift mechanics too. It's one step more complicated than, say, the drifting in a recent Need for Speed game, so you really have to think about it.
I'm also happy to report that it now has split screen, which was sadly missing from the first game. Oh, and the online features have also had an overhaul, so now there are plenty of modes and even tracks that change as you play them.
Yeah, and that's not really a new thing, but I like that it's there, and it makes it more about being a better driver than knowing the track.
Plus, now you can tell if a racer is prone to collisions or is an aggressive driver by a specific marking that's above their vehicle. This is a fantastic idea, I thought.
You've been getting a reputation for your aggressive starts. It's not what we want.
Well, this is a superb racer with lots of challenge, but also teaches you to be a better driver. I'm giving it 9, you guys.
I'm giving it 9.5. I loved it.
Darren, that smells amazing.
Just another few seconds and Bajo's sandwiches will be rendered edible.
Darren, I have to let you win more often so we can have more sandwiches. But no, Bajo, focus, because next week we're going to have a look at a new Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game, Gates to Infinity.
Oh, Pokemon.
Yes, it's not X and Y, but it could be a good warm-up, so we'll have to find out next week.
Until then, Bajo out.
Hex out.
Darren out. Cheese toasties fully activated.
Oh,
Yum.
here they come.
Sandwiches.
Yay.
Give me a sandwich.
Oh, look at them. They look perfect. Take one. Take one.
How do they taste?
They're okay, Darren.
No,
They're
they're
amazing.
good.